Hello, everyone. Blaine Austin here at Sewing Machines Plus, and welcome to our Thursday live show. We got Kicking It Kennedy in here with us this morning.
Morning.
She's all raring to go, and we got a great show for you today, guys. We have got Grace Company is going to be in here, and we've got LJ and Melinda, I think, from Grace going to be joining us this morning. And boy, do we have some great specials. I mean, this is pre-birthday celebration, Kennedy.
Yeah, it's not even the big week next week, but Blaine just said we gotta go crazy as per usual.
So we got 3 products today that we've got incredible specials on. 2 of them are Grace.
Yes.
And then we have 1 from Brother.
Ooh.
And
a little surprise one.
Oh yeah, this is everybody's gonna be really excited about all 3 of them. And we got some great prices for you. So we're anxious to share that. But before we get in too deep in the show, got to say big shout out to some of the SMP Nation watching so far today. We've got Jill Sweet in Wisconsin. So hello, Jill. We have Sarah Lamp in Colorado. So hey, Sarah. We have Gloria Bolden in Michigan. Iva Anderson in California. Lori Scott in Wyoming. Nancy Fitzgerald in Ohio, and Betsy B in Kansas City.
Woohoo!
So, hey, Betsy B. I like that. Betsy B.
Me too.
All right. So, if y'all haven't been tuning in, we've got a lot of stuff coming up on the horizon. And next week is the birthday bash. It's Blaine's birthday bash. It's my birthday. Actually, my birthday's Saturday, May the 11th, but we're celebrating it on May the 9th on Thursday here. Last year it was actually on the 11th, which was cool.
It was so perfect.
Yeah. So, but we got a lot of cool things I think happening. I know that Kyle and Kennedy have been whispering behind the walls about all kinds of stuff going on, and so they're gonna surprise me. But I do know we have some surprise guests that you got to tune in for. We're going to have our trivia contest.
Of course.
Or not really a contest, but we have the trivia that we did last year that they're going to give you things that about me, multiple choice. And if you get the right answer when you chat, you could the winners actually get in a drawing.
Yes.
People who get it right get in a drawing to win some stuff. And the guest has got to guess it too.
Yes.
It's pretty fun last year. I remember we were talking about my first car. Remember that? Oh,
was it the Fairlane?
Yeah, it was a Ford Fairlane.
It was the Fairlane.
But I think it was Jane.
That said the Beetle.
Yeah, she told me the Beetle. She first asked, well, we kept saying, is that your final answer? And then she picked Fairlane.
Yes.
So, but it was a lot of fun things that we did. And but we have that next week. Hoop Fest is on the horizon as well. It's going to be June 10th to the 14th. We have Hoop Fest coming, and I'm telling you what, I say this every time. Right. So it's like a broken
record. Never loses its.
It's like going to be the
shine
best,
and sparkle.
It's going to be the best Hoop Fest ever.
Exactly.
The education that we have this time is basically everything that the SMP Nation wanted. So we sent a poll out and said, hey, fill this out. If you want to tell us what you want to see on Hoop Fest as far as the education. And everything, I picked the top items that everybody picked, and that is what's on the show.
Yeah.
So it's like from doing tattooed sleeves to sweatshirts, embroidery and sweatshirts, doing baby clothes, to in the hoop projects. So I mean, it's just like everything. We have basically an hour per day. So there's going to be 5 hours worth of education for the week, 2 30-minute sessions per day. And
and I know you always say, Blaine, that we have 5 hours of education, but I'm going to say, when I'm watching all day, I learn something from all of the product demos. I learn something from all of our national educators from all of the different brands. I'm learning something every hour on the hour, Blaine. That's just me, though.
True. I mean, if you watch the demos, you're gonna actually see a lot of things that's going to help you. But instead of them these are not people like just demonstrating a machine and what it can do. These are people just giving you the techniques and all kinds of different ways to do things. So I think that's what makes it separates it from like a machine demo. It's strictly for education. And so and I agree with you 100%. You're going to learn a lot from all of it. And we've got some really great specials that we're going to have that's going to be exciting. So I'm pretty pumped about that. So that's in June. And then our another big show that we're doing in July, which is July 11th, is going to be the auction. So tell you how the auction works. We did this last year. It was pretty awesome. So if you have purchased from SMP, if you're one of our customers that have purchased a product, you will get an email sent out to you with a link that you go sign up for the auction. Once you sign up for the auction, then we will send you, once we verify that you've purchased from us and that you have done that, we send you a passcode and a link to where you go to the show. You have to put the passcode in to get into the show. And then we give you a number that you can text your bid to.
Yes.
As the products come up on the auction block, you'll have the phone number. It'll be on the screen that you text your bid to, and that's how we do it.
Yes.
And it works out really good. I was surprised last year.
Me too.
There's a little bit of delay, not much, but it's like a 5-second delay.
Once we got used to that, then it was fine.
Yeah.
But,
so, because last year we would have two people that the bids came in at the same time.
Right.
So that was kind of a little bit hard, but other than that, it worked really well. And I think it was like everything sold but 2 items.
Yes.
Last year. And then they sold right after the event. They ended up selling. Somebody came in the stores and bought them.
Yeah.
So this year we actually even have more product than we have last year, by just a little bit, not much, but we have more machines. We have some, 2 of them right now come to my mind.
Ooh.
And I'm not even going to tell you which ones they are, but we have 2 embroidery machines. That are insane pricing.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, the pricing on the auction will be a lot better probably than Hoop Fest on these 2 items.
And last year we had a very big variety of brands. Like it was all brands. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we had 38 machines.
I think that's right.
I think we had 38 machines. Yeah. So if you were wondering, people were talking about it in the comments. I think we had 38.
38 and 36 of them sold on the auction and 2 didn't, and then we sold those. But I'm thinking this year, from what it looks like, we're going to actually be able to have more machines because we're trying to. Now, this is what's crazy. Some of these machines are classroom machines that we've used for events in the classroom. Some have been on demonstration, like on the floor in the store where they do their demo models. Some are refurbished. They were returns. They got refurbished. And then some are brand new. Yeah. Some are brand new in the box, have never even been opened. And those are the ones like where we work deals with the manufacturers and try to get some in here just for this auction. So it's kind of all over the gamut. And basically, if you've had your heart set on a certain machine, if it's in the auction, this would be the time to buy it.
Yes. Yes.
So be a lot of fun. But Hoop Fest, we've worked some really good deals on Hoop Fest. And then one great thing on Hoop Fest is you're going to get to see the world premiere of a brand new, I guess I could spill the beans a little bit, 7-needle embroidery machine. That's all I can say. Okay. I was sworn to secrecy. Okay. No 7-needle, brand new 7-needle embroidery machine. So you get to see it here first. Excited about that. And what's even crazier, we're going to have introductory prices on it. So the price is going to be cheaper on Hoop Fest than they will every day. Woohoo! So, woohoo! All right. So, hey, I was talking to guess who yesterday? Who? Jane Klaus.
Our favorite ever, Jane Klaus?
Guess where Jane is?
Where's Jane?
Jane is in Chicago at the H&H show. And that is a new show that's kind of like for manufacturers to go set up for retailers to go to. And it's kind of like a wholesale show. And they have all kinds of crafting things, from threads and yarns to machines and just anything you can think of there. So she went, and this is probably, I think, the 3rd year for her. I always get her to go, and I give her like places I want her to go and check out for me. And I probably should have went this year, but I just had so much going on. It was kind of hard to get away. But Jane goes and gets me some contacts with some new vendors. And then also she went by and said hi to some of our existing vendors. And there it is. Look up on the screen.
There's Mark.
On the left, she's with Mark Martin from Grace. And she stopped by their booth yesterday and said hi.
I wonder if Mark told her a joke.
I don't know.
I'm curious.
And then the picture on the right that's Harley Thomas from Aero Cabinets and Jill Rep from AccuQuilt and June Taylor.
Yes.
And
so
so
exciting.
all three of those people, well, 4 if you count Jane, have been on our shows.
Exactly.
And but anyway, she got to go by and say hi to them. I thought that was pretty good. So I even texted Jane this morning. I said, Jane, are you back at the show today? I didn't know if she was going today or not. But
I think Belle is also there.
Belle
Seems so
Bruner.
mean. Yeah, I think she's there as well.
Yeah, I think she was repping with somebody.
Yes.
I think so. Now there's a ton of people that have been on our shows that are at Chicago.
Yeah. Let us know if me and Blaine should go next year and go take a camera and wander around. That might be a fun little show.
You know, it's actually it's an up and coming show, and from what they had 403 vendors there.
What?
On demonstration or with booths.
Wow.
So yeah, it's probably gonna keep growing. It's
goodness.
I think the first year they had a little over 100, and now they're already up to 403 for the third year. So
wow,
anxious to go to the show, and it's always good to go to these shows because you get to see a lot of your vendors and people that you do business with. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, this is show season now, right? We have Brothers coming up, Baby Lock's coming up, Bernina's coming up too.
Yeah, all the manufacturers' conventions are coming up.
Yeah.
Usually they start in August and go all the way through September.
Yeah.
And so we've got
this is the big season for
a lot
announcements and surprises.
Bernina's having their convention in Michigan, in Detroit, Michigan this year. And we're sending Rena.
Oh.
Rena's our general manager of the store. And then Laura Jimenez is one of the sales. She's the assistant manager of the store.
Yes.
She's going. So they're going to go to that convention in Detroit. And that's coming up.
That's fast. Yeah.
I think it's in July.
I think so. Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's in July. So it's coming up pretty quick. And so they'll be bringing back all the new stuff with Bernina, and we'll hopefully get to talk a little bit about that. So, all right. Are y'all ready to see what we're going to show you with Grace this morning? Because you've seen these products before. However, one of them I got to tell you a little backstory behind. One of them that we're going to actually talk about today is an older machine that basically got replaced. So it was a QUILTING 15 Pro. You remember that machine?
I remember.
The 15 Pro was a 15-inch long arm. Well, they replaced it basically with the 16 Elite. Well, we went to Grace and said, hey, is there any way that y'all could find some more of those machines? Do you have any castings left? And lo and behold, they came up with some, and we've got them. We bought every single one they had left. We have them here. They put a package together. We've got an unbelievable special on that today we're going to talk about. And then we're also going to talk about one of their newer machines.
Yes.
Is the little Rebel with that Cutie Breeze frame, and we got a special on it today.
And I just want to emphasize, when we say these are going fast, like we've sold like 10 a day for the past 3 days. So just to let you know, this is an unbeatable, you cannot beat this deal.
So I guess I need to tell them we don't have many left because we only had 40. And
I think we're at less than 10. Yeah,
they're going really fast. So if y'all see these today, once we talk about it, we'll show you the overlay and stuff. If you're interested, get on the phone and call because they probably are going to be gone today.
Yes.
And but they are such a good deal. I'm really excited about that. And then we've got a really good price on the Cutie Breeze with that little Rebel today. So let's welcome to the show LJ and Melinda.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Man, we are so good. And thank y'all for joining in. And I know you probably saw the picture we showed of Marky Mark at the show in Chicago.
Yeah, see, it's funny. Jana messaged me yesterday and she said, Jane stopped by and visit Blaine Center to come say hi and check us out. And, they loved her. Meeting in person, Jane on camera, she just looks so fun, so energetic. It's like, in person, that's like up like 20 notches,
That's
30
awesome.
notches with that energy. And it's like, that would just be awesome to be around.
You're exactly right. She is, there's not an off button with her. I mean, it's like what you see on camera, she's that way all the time, probably plus 10. It's like I've never been around somebody that has that much energy as she does, and just always so positive. And so, yeah, we're very fortunate to have her working with us and doing all the shows. And so, yeah, we're real excited about that. And, you know, she'll be here on our Hoop Fest coming up in June. And I know that I told her yesterday, I said, go see if you can get some new jokes from Mark.
Well, speaking of jokes, Blaine, Laurel has one for us this morning.
Yes, so it kind of, well, you know, I don't know if you guys remember, but Mark, he did do a bit of a joke with you guys. And ever since then, we do a kind of a sales team daily stand-up. And so since then, we've been like, all right, Mark, what's today's joke? So he's out. Yes, so I have a joke of the day. Now, it's not nearly as good as Mark's joke, but I'll give it to you here. So why shouldn't you use a broken pen?
Why shouldn't you use a broken pen?
I don't know, Kennedy. I don't know.
Because it's pointless.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
You know, just a little something there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is very much like a Mark joke.
Yeah.
So if any of y'all are wondering what we're talking about, back in, I think it was Quilt Fest.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find the video now.
Quilt
I need to
Fest,
watch it again.
We started telling jokes about sewing jokes. Well, Mark came on one morning and told a joke. And the way his punchline was so dry and emotionless, it made it even more funny. And we laughed and laughed and laughed at this joke. So you'll have to go back and watch the day that Mark told his joke on Quilt Fest. But Kyle and Kennedy, they took that clip and recorded it, and we have played that clip over and over and over, and it's still as funny today as it was the first time we saw it.
So good. I remember when we came on or whatever, like the day after Mark did it, and we were talking, and Kyle, he texted me, and he's like, you got to watch this, you know, because I didn't get to see it. Just dying. The whole sales team were losing it out there.
It is just so
It was,
I mean, his delivery, like he told the punchline, he made this like pause. So funny. And so, if you haven't seen it, you weren't there on Quilt Fest, you've got to go back. And I don't remember what day it was.
I don't either. My favorite part was in that silence. There was a clap. It was like a, oh, they're not ready for this one. Sent me.
that is true Mark fashion.
Yes.
We've already decided that clip is going to be shown over and over for the next few years at Quilt Fest time.
Awesome.
That's perfect.
Awesome.
That will just be the intro.
Sorry for his digital footprint.
You know, he's gonna love it. Like he loves that. So he gets a lot of his morning jokes from his daughter Eva, and she comes up with some of the funniest jokes. And it's like, how old is she? And she has these jokes, and they're funny. So he just carries, brings her jokes for us, and we have our chuckle in the morning, and throughout the day, it's like, you catch yourself thinking about it and remembering it, and you start chuckling all over again. So totally get it.
Awesome. Well, I know everybody's excited today because we're going to talk a little bit about the Little Rebel, and I know that's what you have right there in front of you on the Cutie Breeze frame. We've got a great special on it today. And then we're going to kind of talk about, which y'all know all this about, we bought all you had left of the 15 Pro with the frame, and we've got an unbelievable price on that. We're going to talk about that today, but we're going to let y'all kind of tell everybody a little bit about the package we have that you have right in front of you, and then we'll get into the price on that. So I'm going to let y'all take it away, and when y'all get finished up, I'll come back and tell everybody about the great specials.
All right, awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so Laurel, I love the Little Rebel. It's so versatile. You can do so much with it. What's your favorite feature on the Little Rebel?
Actually, I think one of my favorite things, and it actually stems from back before I started working at Grace Company. So I never really did a whole lot, but I did like to do crafts, and so actually got me into the sewing world. And so I didn't do a whole ton, but I did, figure out how to make some pants, a pillowcase, some, cute little stuffed animals and all that. And so I love that it actually is a straight stitch sewing machine. So again, it's kind of a combo of a quilting and a sewing machine, but for me, that is one of my favorite features because it kind of actually helps me step into the quilting world. Now, I've been at Grace for a few years now, but I still haven't done nearly as much quilting as I have sewing. So to be able to kind of bring both of those together is fantastic for me and my favorite feature of it.
Yes. So, there's so much the machine itself can do. As Laurel said, it's a straight stitch machine, kind of a power horse with the ability of stitching up to 1,600 stitches per minute. That's phenomenal. And not only to accommodate that amount of stitches, but to be able to stitch through thick material.
Yes, that's a huge one because I have like obviously it's a bit of an older machine, right? But it does a few different stitches, but it definitely cannot go do it on denim or leather or anything like that. It really is meant for the cotton fabrics. So the fact that this one can give you some more versatility in the fabrics that you're using. And actually another thing that I love about it is the full 13 inches of throat space.
Yes.
That's huge. Like that is, again, it's obviously a wonderful little package machine, but that is one of the biggest features I think on it because it helps, again, bring the sewing and quilting world together so nicely because you are not trying to, maybe if you have a big quilt, you're not trying to fit it through this tiny little space, on it.
I'll say, I'm not an avid sewer, or I should say I wasn't an avid sewer, by all means, not a quilter before coming to Grace Company. I have a sewing machine at home. I took home ec back in junior high and high school. I know my way around a sewing machine, know how to use it, made pillowcases, a lizard, stuffed animal, amongst a few other things. I know how to hem, all of that. But there, again, not being that avid sewer, I appreciate, just like Laurel said, the throat length, but also the throat height.
Yes.
I remember when we were training on the Little Rebel, before we officially began shipping the machine, one of our projects was a pot holder, and it was push quilting. I had never push quilt before. I've talked about it, and I've seen people doing it. I will truly appreciate those quilters that, will continue to push quilt. It's not for me.
No.
Not even, a small project. Not for me.
No, it's a very impressive thing for people to get down. And I think part of it is because they're like, hey, you know what? This isn't maybe necessarily what I want, but they're like, I can't go step into what is a quilting machine, right? People, when they think of quilting, think of the bigger machines, right? And then they're like, holy crap, I can't fit a 12-foot frame in my house, right? Like I live in a studio apartment, Yep. And so this is a wonderful machine because it helps give people the ability to move from the push quilting and potentially put it on a frame like we actually have it shown here with the Cutie Breeze frame.
I know, Laurel, some conversations that I've had with customers, even dealers, and talking about the struggles of push quilting. And I have flat out asked people, do you like push quilting? Is it easy? And they say yes. And I'm like, if there were an easier way, would you do it? And they, will start out saying no, because in a sense they've accepted the struggle of push quilting. They're comfortable with it now, even though it's a struggle. And maybe they're afraid of learning a new technique, a new way that will be easier, not just for the quilting aspect, but on their mind, on their body, on their soul. I don't know, it baffles me when people say, oh, I'm still gonna do it this way. And it's like, but there's easier ways of doing it.
Yes, and I think it's because, again, like you said, Melinda, they've become comfortable and accepted that this is what it is for them, right? Like this is just the world I have to live in, So when we are able to show them and actually let them try it for themselves of actually being able to move the machine on a frame, they're like, okay, no, I'm never going back to push quilting,
Right,
you know?
right.
And it's because you've helped open their eyes and see, you know what, actually you are not stuck in this world, and you can actually step into it at a very affordable level.
Yes, yes. And whether you're starting with just the machine, whether you're pairing it with the Cutie Breeze or another frame, you know, the number one thing that Laurel already touched on is the affordability of the machine.
Absolutely.
All right, so we talked about some of the struggles of push quilting. We have the little rubble here on the Cutie Breeze frame. We've talked about 1,600 stitches per minute. The machine itself, it's a fully regulated machine. So it doesn't matter, you know, kind of how fast or how slow you're moving the machine. You're going to achieve, you know, just the same consistency in your stitch length, which I think is phenomenal.
Yes, yeah, and one other thing you mentioned there, Melinda, that I kind of like to highlight with this machine that also sets it apart compared to those in the industry, and actually even within our lineup, is that with it being a regulated machine, it actually has a built-in encoder system, if you will. So
yes,
it's got an internal sensor that allows it to be able to regulate those stitches for you. So with most machines, when you're stepping into it for the quilting world, you actually have to have some separate encoders that plug in the back. But on this one, like Melinda's pointing out here, there's actually just a little sensor right up there under where your fabric sits that's going to help give you those consistent and beautiful stitches. And that is amazing to have that built in. And I must say, for me, and as far as when we go to shows, we've set up a lot of machines and frames, a lot.
More than you would ever think and ever want to do in a lifetime.
Yes, and then not only that, we take them down, right? So woo, we get to do the double part on it. But I love that with this one, it's built in because it literally just saves me time on having to set it up. And especially if you're trying to move from straight stitching over to the quilting, again, it's even less hassle because you don't have to worry about trying to set up an extra component or anything, because again, that stitch regulator is already built into the machine for you.
Yes, yes, which I love. Now, if we take a peek just at the side of the machine, so we can see, let's get this back into frame. It's in frame. Let's see if we can make it not blurry. It's a little better, but we can see right on the machine we have pad print instructions on how to thread our machine. Laurel, how many machines have you threaded and then realized, oh man, I did not thread that right?
Yes.
And I think we can all relate to it, you know, when we change the thread in our machine, when we change our needle, you know, being able to thread the machine correctly the first time, every time, and remembering, well, where do I go from here? Do I come, you know, it's can be a maze for some people, you know, to try to thread their machine. I love the pad printed instructions on the machine itself. I love, here we have the Q. So when we're going into quilt mode, we can press that Q. That tells us we're in quilt mode with the machine itself. We have our stitch length and our stitch speed. I love how the controls are easily accessible on the machine. They're clearly laid out, you know, right there, you know, on the side of the machine center. Very easy to navigate.
Yeah, easy to understand, because I think that's another thing, and again, kind of going back to why people often choose to stay within what the realm is of they know, right? Or the realm of push quilting. And it's because they're like, well, it was a struggle to figure it out, and now that I figured it out, I don't want to reteach myself something else, right? So with it being laid out so nicely, you don't really have to reteach yourself anything, right? Like it's there. You can go and see, right? If I want, I can go and I can quilt over here with it, or I can come and see my different stitch length, or I can come and easily see that that's going to help me adjust my speed. So again, it doesn't need like this 5-page manual you're trying to flip through. What does this button do again, right? Like you can just look at it and it'll be able to tell you. And there's no let me go use a different machine and then come back. Okay, now wait, what is it, right? Like you'll just be able to know and understand because it is very simple. And it
Yes.
shows you very cleanly there.
And I saw a comment pop up of somebody who already has a little Rebel, and they said the manual, it's easy to follow, to understand. And I find that across the board with all of our products, machines, frames, accessories, easy to read and follow instructions.
Yes.
And that makes a difference, not just with our sewing machines, our quilting machines, our frames, but really with everything. And I kind of always compare, setting up a frame. It's not like you're trying to build IKEA furniture.
Goodness.
For anybody who's ever done that, I put
Maybe
that
that's one simple
I put
page.
that in the same bucket as push
Yeah.
quilting. It's like, no, not for me.
No, I know.
Yes.
So very easy to assemble. And another thing that's fun about it that you don't always see with products, but especially with crafting products, it's a really fun thing, is when you get something new, you're like, I get it set up and I want to use it right away, right? But sometimes you have to make sure you have a project ready maybe, or you need to go find some components yourself to be able to test on it. And actually with the Little Rebel specifically, we give you some of those components. So we give you some fabric, I believe a backing, batting, and a top piece of fabric, and even some thread so that you can.
And needles.
Yes, like literally, like right out the box, or off the bat, I should say. You can get it set up and then literally try the machine, like which is
I
so
always tell
fun.
people out of the box, the machine, you have everything there to get you
really
going,
do.
get you sewing, get you quilting, whether it's push quilting, whether it's frame quilting. Out of the box, you're ready to go.
Yes.
Ready to go. So, Laurel, let's talk just a little bit about the Cutie Breeze frame.
Absolutely.
I love the Cutie
do
Breeze.
too.
I have the original Cutie at home. Hopefully, one day soon. My husband says I can't bring anything home until I declutter, make room, for something else.
He thinks, right?
That is what he thinks. I'm going to say that the next time he comes home with a new drill.
That's what you think, yeah.
It's like,
need to
wait a
find
minute. Yes. So the Cutie Breeze, one of the things I love about the Cutie is you can quilt any size quilt. So whether it's a small table runner or a crib size, all the way up to a king or larger. And I think with that, one of the top questions I get is, how do I put the fabric on the frame?
Yes, yeah. Again, this is one of those things that if you've ever seen it, you're like, okay, I get it, and then you get home and you're like,
I don't get it.
Yeah, you're like,
You're
hang
like,
on,
wait,
I thought I did,
what?
I don't. Yeah, so we're going to show you guys because it truly is that easy. And again, it's kind of one of those things that sometimes, because it is so easy, I think we're like, oh, well, we'll just already have the fabric on the frame, right?
Right.
And so we want to show you guys truly how easy that is now. So
Yes. So ultimately, we're going to start with our quilt sandwich. So we have our backing, our batting, and our top. We're going to sandwich that all together all at once. And then we're going to take our fabric and we'll come over, and I apologize, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Batting dust like literally just poof right in my face. But again, we'll take the batting, we'll come under the foot on our machine.
Yes. So that's one of the biggest things, right? Because sometimes it can get caught there. You're just simply literally feeding it right under where you're going to go over and quilt there.
Yes.
So now, literally all we have is actually the sandwich laid over the quilt.
Over the top
right?
of the rail. Now, let's say if your quilt is bigger than this area, you're going to have fabric that hangs over the side, and that's perfectly fine that the fabric hangs over, because this area is going to be our quilting zone, our quilting area. Once we've completed this zone, we can unhook our fabric with the fabric clamps, and we can slide our fabric to the side. So where we've ended here, we're going to move that end point to the left to be our start point. And this is how we complete the row of our quilt.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of a concept. I think that's probably where people get lost the most, is they're like, wait, how do I do this?
Yes.
And we can say, oh, it's so simple. But when you get home, when you don't have, somebody right there holding
Literally
your
showing
hand, through the process, you can start overthinking things. My husband says I always overthink things, so I get it. I get it. So, and that's part of why we wanted to show today and felt that it was important to show how to load the fabric.
Yes, so yeah, super simple now that we have our sandwich quilt on here. And again, you can choose whether you're gonna put it lined up. And again, that kind of varies depending on the size of the quilt you're gonna be doing. For this, yeah, we're just gonna kind of let it sit right in about the center. And we're gonna start with the back clips. Now this is the Cutie Breeze. It comes with 3 back clips. And you'll see they're a little bit different. So maybe Melinda, if you'll tell us kind of why they kind of have this maybe C coil on it and how that works.
Yes. So first, just kind of looking at the clamp itself, if we can kind of hopefully get a close up, we can see that the clamp itself is kind of ridged right inside.
Almost like a flower shape, right?
Yep. So it's not a complete circle, it's not a square, but ridged inside. That design allows the clip itself to clamp securely onto that square rail.
Yes.
Now in the clip itself, yes, we have the C coils. So the C coils is what will hold our fabric as we advance the fabric to complete or to go to the next row of our quilt. And these coils, they do slide on or off the clamps as well. So completely adjustable.
Yes, yeah, super simple, very easy. And again, we actually specifically designed the shape of the rails to interlock with the shape of the clips. So it actually can kind of act as a ratcheting system like Melinda said. So, but yeah, when you're starting to get it on there, right, and again, we're gonna start with the back clamps. This is what we recommend really to anybody to help line up your quilt top on here, is we actually recommend start with the middle back clip. This way, once you clip it on, if it's crooked, it's right, you pop off a single clip, you're not having to undo the entire system. And it is a super easy and simple adjustment. So start with that.
So we'll kind of center our quilt, try to make it as straight as possible, and we'll just clamp that center clamp. And you saw how easy, I hope you could tell how easy it was to get the clamp on the rail. Not super hard at all.
Yep, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna clamp this other one. Again, you saw I kind of just dragged my hand from that middle clip out. That just will help keep it a bit straight on there for me. And again, make sure I pull out any potential wrinkles on that as well. Clip that down.
And then I'll do the same on the other side. So again, smoothing the fabric out, placing the clamp on the rail, and just pushing that down to secure itself on the rail.
Awesome. And then, yeah, at this point, again, we kind of were able to get it pretty centered there. But if for some reason you could take a step back, look at your quilt top, and you're like, hey, it's a little bit crooked on this side, simply undo one of the back ones, right? Adjust it, and then we'll move on to the other ones. Because if not, you're undoing multiple clips that you don't need to.
Yes, yes. Now, the front rails do also have that same rigid design inside the rail to securely clamp onto the front rail itself. So in securing our fabric, we'll straighten our fabric. A lot of times I'll use the clamp itself to help smooth the fabric, and then clamp the fabric or the clip right on that front rail. And again, because of the ridges in the clamp, it helps to act as that ratchet on the rail itself. Now, Laurel, I saw a couple of questions that I wanted to circle back to. Can we use automation with the setup?
Yes, yeah, great question. Because some people, again, when they think of quilting and they're like, hey, if I'm going to do that, that's top end, so I have to go all in with it, right? And you actually do not. You can easily put automation system on this little Rebel on this exact same Cutie Breeze frame. So you can see very small footprint. So it's not going to go take up a ton of space in your house or anything, but absolutely you can do automation. And we actually have a few different tiers, and any of those tiers can fit on this exact setup. So great question.
All right, and the second question that I saw come up a couple of times, will these clips work on the original Cutie?
Great question.
Now, the rails on the original Cutie, so again, these front and take-up rails, they're a little bit bigger than what the Cutie Breeze is. However, with that in mind, we do have an upgrade clip or clamp set available for the original Cutie, which will give you the 3 take-up rail clamps and coils.
Right.
So that is always an option.
Yes, so in the upgrade kit, it is specifically the back ones, because if you guys are familiar, the original Cutie actually has bungee straps that come up and around to hold the fabric versus the C coils. So in that upgrade kit, it comes with just the back ones as well as the C coils, so it kind of helps eliminate the need for those bungee straps that are on the original Cutie frame.
Yes. Now with that, the original Cutie also had bungee clamps that were pre-installed in the front rails. And you did have to roll your fabric so you could access the handles on the carriage of the original Cutie. What I love probably the most about the Cutie Breeze is I can float the quilt. I don't have to roll the quilt anymore. Super simple, just let it float. As you advance your fabric, as this fabric builds, you'll just bring the fabric up into the coils, and the fabric will roll right into those coils. So again, super simple, super easy, only really worrying about, making sure the fabric up top is out of the way. Just let the front, let it float.
Yes.
Make it easy.
And another question that we get on this, and this is also, I think what happens when you get home as well, is you're like, okay, you know what, I got it, I can put the fabric on. But then we talked about, specifically the rails being square and interlocking with this kind of flower shape and how it's meant to help ratchet it. So sometimes what happens though is people will actually do it too tight.
Yes.
And it's because they're like, oh, I want to make sure you get all those wrinkles out or whatever. But what happens is when you take those clips off and you actually relax that quilt, it can distort any quilting you may have done on it. So actually a really good rule of thumb, I'd say 2 different ways you can do it is one, either you can kind of have your machine, and I would say the base of your machine, you want to be able to push down on that and see a little bit of the indent, or actually what I really like to do, but it's that same type of thing, is you bring your hand underneath and you're going to put your pointer finger and you want to be able to grab up to that first knuckle, right? So that's where you can see this is actually really good because I can grab that first knuckle. So again, kind of just up until that point and grab it, and that's how you know you have your fabric loose enough so when you pull it off, it's not going to give you that distorted quilting.
Yes, yes. So, and I would say that's aside from how do I load my Cutie frame.
Good rule
That's
of thumb
probably
across the board.
second top question.
Yes.
How tight do I need to have my fabric? And one thing I do want to point out, especially with the Cutie Breeze, if you're using the little Rebel, because of the regulation being detected right on the machine base, you want the fabric to always be right on top of that regulation. So with that being said, the take-up rail, you really just want to be able to, just like a dog's collar, let your finger, as long as you can get your finger between the rail and the base of the machine, you're fine on the back. The front rail, you do want to have just a little bit lower than the back rail. So you can see our back rail is higher, front rail is lower. And what that does is it allows the fabric to kind of come down and ensure that it's ready to cross that optical encoder.
Yes, yep. That's how it's able to actually read it and again give you those consistent stitches. So you want to make sure to have that drop down a little bit. And then just a few questions, I want to go over here. And again, thank you guys for participating and asking these questions. It really helps us, and especially when these live ones, it gives us an opportunity to help give you that information that sometimes you have to go digging for, or, go elsewhere to find. So thank you for those questions. So this one, I think it was a question on specifically the frame. Is someone's like, okay, you know what? I love that little Rebel, but maybe they are ready for something that's a bit larger. So they want to know what's the largest machine you can fit on this Cutie Breeze, and it actually is up to a 19-inch throat space machine.
Yes.
So you've got a good bit of space that you really can use and utilize with this frame and still have those beautiful 19 inches. And again, the throat space we're talking about would be specifically from the back of the needle to the main body of the machine. So this is 13, but again, the Cutie Breeze frame can hold up to a 19-inch.
Yes, yes. So again, another question that popped up, what are the dimensions of the table and the machine? So the Cutie Breeze technically will fit on any solid flat surface that's at least 4 feet wide and 2 feet deep. So even at that 4x2 dimension, you'll have a little bit of the bottom rails of the frame that may potentially go over the side of the table. But again, as long as the bulk of the frame, the bottom rails, is on your solid flat surface, totally fine. And that 4 foot by 2 foot table will work perfect.
Yes.
Our table here, I don't know the exact size of the table.
5, I don't know, 6.
Maybe a 5 by 3 foot table,
Yeah.
roughly. Again, make sure everything is securely, on that solid flat surface with a little bit of
Yes.
excess room over.
Yes.
So anywhere from a 4 by 2, a 5 by 3, really that choice is up to you.
Yes, and one thing I do like to point out with that, because sometimes people will say, oh, well, if it can fit up to a 19-inch throat space, they think all of a sudden they need to have an even wider table, right, to accommodate the larger throat space. But you can see here, even with this, like Melinda said, as long as those tracks are actually set on a table, this front extra part doesn't necessarily need to have a table portion, right? Like the table wouldn't necessarily be supporting anything at that point. So it is just like you can see there, just on those tracks specifically, that you want to make sure that table is able to support.
Here, so this is where we mean by tracks.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. All right. Laurel, again, we could go on and on and on about this fabulous combination. One other question that popped up, what's the weight of the Rebel?
I think out of the box it weighs about 26 pounds.
Yes.
But it does have a nice little handle for you.
Yes. So not super heavy. Shipping in the box, with the cardboard, all the styrofoam, everything, that has some bulk to it. It's probably about 40 pounds. But out of the box, the machine, 26 pounds. I'm not going to say super light, but again, not terribly heavy at all.
No, yeah, and again, it is nice. We kind of bring in back some more domestic features that you're used to seeing in machines. And an example of that would be this handle here, just because if you are trying to move this machine and it's something you want to use for piecing, but then you're ready to move it over to the frame, we wanted to make sure that it was something that you very easily could do. So that's why we did have this handle added here for you. And super simple, you can see it tucks in right there when you're not using it.
Yes. Now, actually, I thought of 2 more things I wanted to touch base on. So I'm going to say, again, with my somewhat limited sewing experience, quilting experience, I'm getting more under my belt, but again, I still say, limited, I'm a beginner. One thing I appreciate about the little Rebel, in a comparison with other domestic machines, and then even in comparison with our quilting machines, is the machine has an M-class bobbin.
Yes, this makes a huge difference.
It does.
It really, so yeah, it's a little bit of a larger bobbin. So most domestics take an M-class bobbin, which isn't bad, but it is definitely quite a bit smaller than the L-class. Yes, that fits in this, and it's amazing because it just helps save you, again, even more time between having to stop and we change out the bobbin. And then actually, even with that, there is a separate motor built into the machine where you can actually wind a bobbin and, if you want, be quilting or sewing at the same time. So again, we're helping give you extra thread that you can put in that bobbin, I should say. So again, that's the L class, that's larger. And then you have an extra spool holder even here. So again, you can be winding a bobbin and still be quilting or sewing at that same time.
Yes. And then where the bobbin goes, it's not buried in the needle plate like, I'm going to say all domestic machines.
Yes.
There might be 1 or 2 maybe out there where you change your bobbin, again, it's not buried. But to access the bobbin on the little Rebel, again, it's a front-loading bobbin. And I know how we're positioned, you can't really see where that bobbin is. But again, if you can imagine, here's your needle. The bobbin case is going to be directly below that. And again, you're accessing from the front. And the best thing is there's a little light down there, so you can see what you're doing. No more fumbling in the dark. You can see where to put the bobbin. it makes, those little things truly, truly make the difference.
They do. So yeah, fantastic machine. Again, it really comes complete with everything, like Melinda said at the beginning, everything you're going to need to pull it right out of the box, whether you're looking at doing the sewing aspect of it or you're ready to jump right in and do the quilting. And actually here we do have, specifically it is meant for the sewing. So technically in this scenario, if we were to go about it, we would need to switch over the foot to the quilting. But it does,
put the plate.
Yes, but it does actually come with both that sewing and quilting foot. So again, there isn't necessarily any additional, you're like, hey, well, here's this, but actually to quilt, you need to come buy this separate, right? No, like it comes with everything it needs, just like Melinda said at the beginning. So beautiful machine, and it works wonders specifically right now because we're showing it on the Cutie Breeze frame.
Yes, yes. So again, if you're using the machine for sewing, the throat space, you're still always going to have that 13-inch throat. When you're quilting, again, if you're machine or frame quilting, I should say, the machine is turned so it's this way right in front of you and you're quilting. However, if you're sewing, you're going to be sitting at the machine facing this way. So yes, you still have that 13-inch throat to work within. And I think for sewing, my favorite thing is the little rebel itself. It comes with that sewing table. So it attaches, and remind me the size.
I think it's 18 by 24.
Yeah, so 18 by 24 table comes with the machine. Super easy, super simple, just so you have that additional support area for all of your sewing projects.
Yeah, so one thing someone did correct us, thank you, it is an M-class bobbin. We said L, it's an M-class, so thank you for that. That is correct, it's an M-class, that's the larger bobbin that can fit in here. And then talking about it, there's a few questions about ruler work. So there is a ruler base that you can get for the Little Rebel, and that is a little bit different than the ruler table. So the ruler table is more for the sewing aspect. And so that's when you don't have the machine on a frame, right? So that kind of has its own little legs that allows you to sit it on whatever table you're using your machine at, versus a ruler base that can come and attach to the machine specific when it's on a frame.
Yes.
And that just helps widen the base here so that you have a surface to actually set that ruler down on.
Yes.
And then with that, there is a separate ruler foot that you can get that allows you, again, to set that ruler right up against that edge and then kind of glide your machine along it.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, I think we've covered just about everything with the Little Rebel and the Cutie Breeze. Let's talk about that 15 Pro.
Gosh, yeah.
So I know part of our deal with SMP for the SMP Nation, we scrounged around, waved our magic wand. Lo and behold, we found 40 15 Pro machines. And they're not, it's not a super old machine. It's only,
it's a great machine.
We haven't had that machine maybe a little over a year. Great machine. It was the machine I started quilting on when I began my journey here at Grace Company. So yes, that machine holds a dear place in my heart. Phenomenal machine. And for SMP and SMP Nation, we paired the 15 Pro with the Q-Zone hoop frame. So the Q-Zone hoop frame, very similar to the Cutie Breeze, which we talked about. The Cutie Breeze being a tabletop frame, the Q-Zone hoop frame has its own dedicated legs. So it is going to be more of, this is a stationary frame. Once it's up, it's up.
Yes, yeah, and it's a beautiful combination, and it's kind of funny because it was one of those things that, Melinda's the account rep for SMP, and so she helps talk with them quite a bit. And so, they just messaged, they're like, hey, we have some 15 Pros we're sending to Sewing Machines Plus. I'm like, what? We still have them? Because it really was one of those things that we truly had kind of gone through what we thought we had left, but we are actually shifting warehouses and all that, and we did come across some more. So it is really an amazing deal that we are able to help give SMP and really have them give you guys for that 15 Pro. And it's a fantastic machine. Because we had so few, we don't have it here to show you guys, but it's kind of a very, very similar setup, right? So it's where it's more of a specific quilting machine, right? So not necessarily sewing and quilting, but it does have its own handles. And then it has a little screen that will actually be directly on the machine. That'll help show you the different quilting modes that you can be in with it.
And there's 4 modes on the 15 Pro. So you have your cruise and precise, which are regulated modes. Then you have your manual and based option as well. Now with our frames, they're designed that you don't have to baste. But because our mother, because our auntie, because our grandmothers told us when you're quilting, you need to baste your quilts, we still do provide that option. And I'll say, even as a newer quilter, I do find that I do prefer to baste. It gives me that extra assurance that my fabric isn't going to shift and move around as I'm quilting. So again, you have those 4 stitch modes on the machine. It'll stitch up to 1,800 stitches per minute. So super fast, precise quilting. Again, you have the 4 stitch modes, has a built-in bobbin winder. It still has the M-class bobbin. It has that 15-inch throat space, so it's bigger than the Little Rebel, which is phenomenal. So.
Yeah. Oh, and then someone, Paula Becker, says, no one would regret the 15 Pro. I never have problems with the tensions either. Yes. It is set beautifully, and actually all of our machines before they leave here are tested, and so oftentimes they do usually have it set to a pretty good sweet spot. That being said, of course, if you're doing minky fabric, that might differ, and you might want to change your tension a little bit, but love to hear that. It really is a true workhorse of a machine that's just going to work and give you some beautiful stitches, and it does pair very nicely with that Q-Zone hoop frame. I know someone had a question on that. It sits at about 5 feet, so it is a smaller one. It actually, really dimension-wise, is about what we have here, but it's as if you were to say from the edge of the table, from one edge of the table to the other. So it is a little larger than what this one is here, but again, it's about 5 feet. If you're trying to find a space, we say give it about 5.5 feet space, so it's not actually tucked up right against your wall, so you have a little bit of extra space there.
Yes. And just as when I started here at Grace Company, like I said, I used the 15 Pro.
That was it.
I used all the machines, to be honest, but that was the 15 Pro is probably one of the first machines that I truly began to feel comfortable quilting on. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I didn't know, and maybe sometimes now I still don't know what I don't know. But that's kind of the beauty of quilting. Yes, you may have mistakes, but again, you'll learn from those mistakes. You'll learn what techniques and different ideas work for you. Just because they work for me doesn't mean they'll work for you or for Laurel or vice versa. Yes, there's so many techniques and rules, but at the same time, I like to say they're rules that can be broken and should be broken depending on you, your skill, and how you can enjoy quilting the most.
Yes, absolutely, And so, just beautiful. Again, a lot of different products to choose from, whether it's, hey, you know what, I'm starting out, and I really want something that's a good mix between sewing and quilting, because I'm just stepping into what that quilting world is, or maybe you're in the quilting world and you want to try some sewing, So we have the Little Rebel, and then again, we showed it today on the Cutie Breeze frame. Very versatile frame, very versatile machine, and then we kind of talked a little bit about the Qunique 15 Pro on that Q-Zone hoop frame, and again, that 15 Pro, absolutely blank. You guys were dead on. I bet they sold really quick because because they have been with us for so long. They've been out there and everyone loves them. Like literally, I have people who are like, so I have a 15 Pro. I'm like, oh, so you want to trade in? They're like, no. I'm going to get it in addition to it, because they don't want to get rid of that machine because it does work just so fantastically for them. But maybe we can kind of go back over to you guys, Blaine, and see if you guys can give us maybe
I saw one more question pop up. Can you add robotics on the 15
great
Pro? The
question.
answer is yes. So our QCT software is compatible with all of our newer machines, all of our newer frames. So whether you're starting with the Little Rebel on the Cutie Breeze, or you have the 21X Elite on the Evolution Elite frame, automation works on anything and everything in between. So yes, definitely an option. So, all right, Blaine, now we're back.
Well, Melinda, LJ, thank y'all so much for going over that. Really good information, great demonstration. And I love y'all showing how to load the fabric, because that's a lot of times, that's one of the things that we kind of forget to do, is tell people how, show them how easy it is.
Right. And, I'll say on phone calls we get, or even at shows, people will say, hey, I have this, but I don't even know how to use it. So it's great, going to shows, because we're right there front and center in person, can talk with the customer, show them that oftentimes, sometimes on these demos, we already have our fabric loaded, and we kind of forget, not everybody knows how to do that part. Yeah. So I was like, Laurel, let's not put the fabric on today to start. So.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much. Hey, we're going to see how we can show everybody how they can get one. And again, thank y'all for coming on, and tell everybody thanks for hooking us up with the 15 Pros, and so we could really give the SMP Nation a great deal out there.
We will. So we'll talk to you soon, Blaine. Thank you.
All right. See y'all later. Okay. Great demonstration by those ladies. And again, we've got so many good deals today. We've got the 15 Pro, we got the Cutie with the Rebel, and we're going to talk a little bit about a brother. But before we tell y'all the deals, I want to check in with somebody all the way up in the Windy City, Chicago. We have Jane.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How are you doing, Jane?
Welcome to Chicago. This is H&H Americas, and we're here on the showroom floor. I wanted to show you this quilt because we're right here in Chicago. Isn't that gorgeous? There are so many quilts here on display, Blaine. I'm talking you up like a crazy man about your quilt fest.
We're jealous.
Hey, I didn't know that was a quilt. I when you first came on, I thought that was like some kind of painted backdrop.
I mean, look at how amazing. I'm telling you, you guys, there are tons of quilts here. There's lots of cosplay costumes. There's tons of fiber arts and like knitting and beautiful outfits. There was a fashion show last night. There are over 450 vendors here. So it's so fun to meet all the like-minded people and talk to the brands. I'm walking over right now to our friends at Madeira because I have a new friend and her name is Brandy, and she's an amazing, here she is. She is an amazing quilter. And Brandy, there she is. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
So tell them about your, she's a former firefighter, and now
I do quilting. I have a
Quilting.
quilting podcast. It's called Quilter on Fire Podcast, and I'm a teacher, speaker, judge in the quilting world. I'm having a lot of fun.
So Blaine, this is somebody you need to know.
Well, I need to know a lot of people, Jane, especially in our industry. But I know that we do sell the Madeira thread. I just don't know. I think we get it from one of our distributors. Not sure.
You probably do. I want you to meet Duncan. Duncan, there's Blaine.
Hey there.
Hey, Duncan.
Oh.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I'm going to get you connected with Duncan, Blaine.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Perfect.
Should we do some more walking?
Let's do it.
Okay, let me go. Do you want me to find Harley? Because guess who's here? I'll be back. Do you want me to go find Harley and you guys pop
Harley
back?
at Aero Cabinets. I bet everybody would love to see Harley.
Okay, let me go get him. You want to tell everybody how they can get their hands on that machine, and then I will show up with Harley?
Yes, let me tell them about the special. We'll come back to you. Okay, so while Jane is trying to find Harley, we're going to go ahead and tell y'all all about the first one we're going to talk about is this Little Rebel. Okay, now the Little Rebel, y'all I always tell y'all, sometimes I can't tell you what the pricing is because of advertising restrictions the manufacturers put. They have it's called minimum advertised price. Now the price on this you see right now is $26.99. Now we have a call-in special. You can For the $26.99, you can get the machine, and then you can add for $500 a Cutie Breeze to it. And we have a $1,000 accessory pack that's going to come with the purchase. However, today, for the SMP Nation, we have a call-in special, okay? So y'all know what that means. Hint, hint, wink, wink. If you want a better price, give us a call right now. Get on the phone because we have an incredible special on the combination. Now, again, what's going to separate the Rebel from the 15 Pro is the 15 Pro is actually a really, it's a long arm machine. It has a 15-inch throat space. The little Rebel has a 12-inch throat space, and it's basically kind of set up like a straight stitch sewing machine. So there's a little differences between it, but you can use both for quilting. But the 15 Pro, you're going to be really happy about it today. There it is. This is the QUILTIng 15 Pro. And that is right. The price you see on the screen is not a mistake. It is $29.99 today with a Q Zone hoop frame. Now, if you want to go up to a continuum frame and get like a 10 or a 12-foot frame, we do have that with a little bit of an upgrade charge to get the bigger frame. However, $29.99, you can get the 15-inch Little Rebel with the Q Zone or the hoop zone frame. And I'm telling y'all, if y'all remember what the pricing was, this is absolutely an insane price. And I'm telling you, we probably have less than 10 of them left right now. So if you want to get one of these, you've got to get on the phone and give us a call right now, 800-401-8151. Now, this machine, you can actually go right to the website and order it. We have the pricing on the website. But if you want to upgrade the frame and all that, you need some help in talking, give us a call, or you can speak to one of the live chat agents online right now. They can actually help you out as well on our website. But this is by far the cheapest this has ever been. It is an insane price, and we're passing those savings right on to you today. So make sure if you are interested in getting one of these, get on the phone and call right now. Either if you want that little Rebel with a Cutie Breeze, or if you want this QUILTIng 15 Pro with the hoop zone frame, today is the day to call and get one. And I'll be right back when we'll tell you a little bit about the brother, but we're going to go right back to Jane.
Hey, Blaine.
Hey.
I've walked across the floor and I made my way back over to Arrow. But before we say hi to our friends at Arrow, I have another special guest for you to say hello to. Professor Pierce.
Hello.
Rhonda.
Yes, Jane captured me.
So if everybody remembers
right
Rhonda Pierce, she is with Smith's Needles. She comes on and talks all about needles. She's been on our shows before. We love having her on. She's the premier expert on needles, and it's so good to see you, Rhonda.
Fantastic. Well, I'm delighted to be here, and I'm so glad your customers love Smith's Needles. In fact, Jane, what is your favorite needle?
My favorite needle is the Universal 8012. 8012.
Okay.
That's right. That's my favorite.
No matter what kind of sewing, quilting, piecing you do, I always suggest you have a Universal 8012. It is the workhorse of all needle types, but I also suggest Smith's, you have options. So find your favorite needle.
Okay.
Okay, Blaine, nice to see you.
And Blaine, let me just take you over here. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah,
thank you, Professor Pierce, everybody. Blaine, a show is not a show without the stars of the show, your favorites and mine, Valerie and Harley.
Blaine.
Why
There
aren't
they
you
are.
here?
The dynamic duo.
Kennedy.
I had to say hi.
Second mother.
Yes, I know.
We miss you all so
You guys
much.
need to come back out here pronto and bring Jane.
That sounds like a plan.
That sounds good to
Jane,
me.
the three of us should go visit
Yes.
Blaine.
Yes.
We should all go visit Blaine.
We should jump on a plane right now. O'Hare's right here. We could get on a plane.
I got clothes. I just need to wash them.
We'll be there by 5.
Yeah, we can be there by 5, Blaine. What do you think of that? We'll stay at your place.
Come on. I got plenty of room.
Yeah.
I'll come
Jane
pick you
can show
up.
us how to sew.
I'll be playing. Actually, Blaine, I'm here. I'm sitting in all these chairs. I'm not kidding you. Look at me in my chair right here. It's like a dream come true. I know. I tell you, I have all these chairs, and now I'm actually sitting in it.
Well, Jane, did you look under it to see if there was any Mountain Dew or
I looked
Snickers?
yesterday, no Mountain Dew, no candy bars.
Scott ate all the Reese's peanut butter cups, and he said the last package he ate, they were stale.
Oh no! They're for decoration only.
Well, Jane, tell you what, awesome job reporting live. Boots on the street out there in Chicago at the H&H, and great seeing Valerie and Harley and everybody else we've seen. I know you've got a lot of things you're doing for SMP out there today, and we appreciate you doing that. And I'm going to let you get back busy. But thank you for coming on. Thanks, everybody, for stopping in and saying hi. And we'll talk to y'all real soon.
Thanks, Lane.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye, Kennedy.
Bye, Kennedy.
All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that. A little behind the scenes at the H&H show with Jane. And that wasn't planned, I promise you.
It just happened
It just
5
happened.
minutes ago.
Jane actually, I texted her and said, "Are you at the show today?" And she came back and says, "Yes." And then she just texted me and said, I don't even remember what she texted me now. And I said, "Hey," I said, "You want to come on the show?" And she said, "When?" I said, "Now." She goes, "Okay, let me make it happen." So that was just a spur of the moment, and we got her. So it worked out good, that she was there and able to kind of walk around a little bit and see a few of our folks that have been on the shows before. All right. So are y'all ready for the brother special?
This is a big one.
This is a big one. Okay. Do y'all remember back Carly Bell's, one of her favorite machines that she had? Not the PRS 100, but it was another machine. I actually bought my wife, Michelle, one of these machines. It is the Brother 3600D. See it right there? The NQ 3600D. This has a 6x10 hoop size or embroidery field. This machine is loaded up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, on this one, this machine has been discontinued. So I can actually even tell y'all what the price is for this one. You see the normal price there, right? Today, you can get this for $29.99.
Wow.
So this is not even a call for info. You can actually call right now and get it for $29.99. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. This has been discontinued by Brother, and they've replaced it with a new machine. It's called the 3700, which is just a same machine, but it's the new model number, and I think they may have added a few little features or a few stitches, okay? But this is one of Carly's favorite machines, and we have sold so many of these machines. This was such a great machine, and I know many of y'all out there probably have one of these. $29.99 today, and what I'm going to tell you is the quantities are extremely limited.
Yes.
We basically have been, we saw in our inventory that we had some of these in stock still. They were in one of our mini storage units that weren't even in the warehouse. They went and got them, brought them to the warehouse. We have them there ready to ship right now and going to be shipped to you absolutely free. We do have some financing options available for this as well, but $29.99 for the price. And that has been the theme of the pricing today. Everything is $29.99.99. All three packages you've seen today. And I'm telling you what, so if you're into quilting, we have two great packages from Grace to do. And I'll tell you, the QUILTING 15 is probably sold out by now, but that was probably the deal of the century on that. And then this Brother 3600D, again, the normal price was $34.99. You can get it for $29.99 right now. So if you are interested in any of these three machines, get on the phone and give us a call right now at 800-401-8151. You will not be disappointed. We're going to ship all these nationwide, absolutely free right to your doorstep. And then we do have some special financing available for each machine. So there we go. And hopefully y'all will get on the phone and get those, because I tell you what, I know the Brother is not going to last. It'll be sold out today. And I know the QUILTING will be sold out today for sure.
I think this morning we had 8 left of the 15 Pros.
Because we started selling them, and as soon as we put them online, they've been blowing out, and we only had 40. So they're going pretty fast.
Seriously, like 10, at least 5 to 10 a day.
The 3600Ds we have less than 8 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that. So there's not very many. So if y'all want to get on that, you have to do it today because they'll be gone. So, all righty, Kennedy, let's look in that prize closet today. Are y'all ready to win something? We want to give something away. So we're going to start out with our event bags. Everybody absolutely loves these things. $49.99 for a pack of 8, or you can get them individually for $9.99. We have them on our website. And you can just go to the SMP tote bag and you can see them. But we're going to give one away right now. So in the chat, you have to put bag, B-A-G, bag, B-A-G in the chat right now if you want your chance to win the bag bundle. B-A-G. Okay? And we're going to give a little bit of time for everybody to do that. And Kennedy has our giveaway music going.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kennedy, spin that wheel. Here we go. Sun Country Girl Designs.
Woo, Sun Country.
So Sun Country won it. She's watching today from YouTube. So what we need you to do to claim that prize, you have 30 days to claim it, is go to smplive.tv, scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim my prize, fill out all that information, hit submit, and once we get that in, we will get your bags shipped right to you. All right, next up, we are going to give away a $25 gift card. So in the chat right now, I need you to put card, C-A-R-D. Put card in the chat, C-A-R-D, for your chance to win a $25 gift card. And what's cool about this, Kennedy, is they can just put this at the checkout, and it'll save them $25 off their purchase.
Exactly.
Very simple. So they can use this on any of the 3 machines they saw today.
Exactly.
Not $25 more off.
Yep, I was just going to say.
So everybody put
All
card in the chat right now. You see it on the screen. Kennedy, spin that wheel. Sharon Biting?
Bidding.
Bidding?
Mm-hmm.
Bidding? Okay. Sharon Bidding.
Woo!
Watching today from Facebook.
And
So
she is local.
Is
so
she
she
really?
can just, Sharon, come on to the San Marcos store.
So Sharon, we're going to still email you the card code, but you can redeem that in the San Marcos store if you want to, online or in the store, either one. But go to smplive.tv, scroll down to the bottom where it says claim my prize, fill out all that information complete, hit submit, and then we will in turn email you back a gift card code. And once you get the code, you can do it online in our shopping cart or walk into the San Marcos store.
Yeah, she commented, yes, I'm local. I know who you are, Sharon. I know.
All right. So thanks, Sharon. All right. So next up, we are going to give away one of our world famous sewing mats. There you see them right there. And I tell everybody, if you don't have your mat yet, you're doing your machine a disservice. So you need one of these for every single machine that you have in your sewing room, because they absolutely do work and make your machine last longer, just reducing the vibrational load. All right, Kennedy, let's spin that. Oh, we got to tell.
You got to do a word.
We got to do a word. So I guess it's going to be mats, plural, M-A-T-S.
Plural.
Mats, plural,
Plural.
M-A-T-S. If you want to win these. Now, these come in 13 different colors. They come in 4 sizes. And again, we talk about these. They are functional. You know, they not only protect the surface you have the machine sitting on. So like if you had it on your dining room table, it's going to protect it, not scratch it up. It reduces the vibration that transfers through the electronics, so it makes the machine last longer. It's also going to reduce noise that it makes, and then it doesn't let it slide around. So it's just a really good thing to have, especially for sergers.
Yes.
The sergers are so loud. This thing really dampens the sound for a serger. All right, Kennedy, let's spin that wheel. Jana Witten.
Woohoo!
So congratulations, Jana. Jana is watching today from YouTube. So Janet, to claim that prize, you have 30 days. You need to go to smplive.tv. Scroll down toward the bottom of that page where it says claim my prize, fill out all that information complete. And then most importantly, in the notes section in there, just put what color of sew mat you want, what size you want. And then once we get that information, we'll get it right out to you. All right, we are going to give away a machine today.
Ooh.
We're going to give away a different one too, aren't we? Is it the 700?
Yes.
Or is it the other one?
The 7,000.
7,000. Oh, okay.
That's next week.
Oh, that's the birthday bash.
Yes.
Ooh, I forgot about that. All right, so next
Trying
up,
to give away all my secrets.
we are going to give away a Brother 7000X sewing machine. This is a CS 7000X. So in the chat, if you want a chance to win this, put 7000X. 7000X. Numerical 7000 and then X. Right there on the screen, y'all see it, 7000X. And we're going to give everybody a chance to win the machine if you're watching right now. 7000X is the key word. So Kennedy,
Yes.
spin that wheel.
Okay.
Man, the S&P Nation's fast.
It's unbelievable.
How fast they get those
I'm not
keywords
even that
in.
fast.
Kristen
Lecipher? Is it Lecipher?
Lecipher.
Lecipher.
Christian.
Kirsten. Oh my gosh, it's Kirsten.
Kirsten.
Kirsten, not Kristen.
Kirsten, sorry if we're butchering your last name, but you are our winner.
Woo-hoo!
Watching today from YouTube. So what we need you to do to claim that prize, you have 30 days to claim it. Go to smplive.tv. Scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim my prize. Fill out all that information complete. Hit submit. And once we get that in, we will get your brand new machine shipped right out to your doorstep.
Yes.
Absolutely free.
Please, we are so sorry for messing up your name. Take this machine
Kirsten.
as our apology.
You know what? You can call me what you want if I'm getting something for free.
Right.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, we hope that y'all enjoyed the show today. Great surprise guest with Jane and all her people that she came in, brought into the show. Great job by LJ and Melinda from Grace.
Yes.
We sure do appreciate Grace partner with us on the show today. And don't forget, next week is our big show.
Our big
show. It is Blaine's birthday bash. And naturally, since it's my birthday, you don't have to get me anything. I'm going to give y'all lots of stuff. So we have a ton of giveaways next week. We have some incredible specials.
Yes.
I mean, some of the specials are kind of crazy specials. So we're going to have flash sales all during the birthday bash. And you might as well plan on it. It's probably going to take about 2 hours for the birthday bash because from what Kennedy's telling me, she's got quite a few guests coming on. So,
yeah, plan about hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay, so we'll have a lot of guests. We're going to have play trivia. We're going to have great deals. Oh, and we're also going to be doing the balloon.
Oh, the giveaway balloons.
The giveaway balloons this time. So if we pick your name, you have to be watching at that time. You have to tell us what balloon color you're picking. And I pop it, and whatever's inside the balloon, that's what you win.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some really good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Deb said, I have time. Deb Wilner, I have time.
You're
going to want to make some time.
So you remember I always say hint, hint, wink, wink? We have got some great giveaways next week. And we have some great specials. I mean, really good specials. Deep discounted things that you do not want to miss. And hopefully if you've had your eye on one of these products, this will be a great time to buy. So that'll be a great show next week. I'm looking forward to it. And they're not telling me a whole lot. So they're trying to keep it a big secret, all the stuff that they're bringing on the show. But anyway, y'all tune in next week, same time to find out. Hope that y'all have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Kennedy?
We will see you later.
There we go.
Bye, SMP Nation.
Bye, everybody.